Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to What I Need podcast/vlog episode of Who Gives a Shit. I've lost count. And today we got a very special guest. His name is Frank Marrero.
Yep.
I got it right. Yep. There we go.
Woo.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being on.
Yeah.
All right. And he is also a musician as well. And he's going to be telling us his stories and where he came from, how he got started, and where he's going now.
Well, okay. So I grew up in a very great time of music in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And I remember listening to music when I was young. I'd always borrow my mom's albums and listen to like Creedence Clearwater, John Denver, Black Sabbath. The first Black Sabbath album, she had that. And I was like, wow. Especially with Hendrix. Oh, Beatles. Fuck. So, yeah, but Creedence Clearwater, they were definitely an awesome band for just growing up as a young person. You're listening to this great, everywhere you went. I mean, because they were like the bar crowd. You went with your parents to the bars.
You said Creedence
Clearwater.
Yeah. That's, didn't they do the Vietnam type sound music?
Yeah, they did some Vietnam stuff. They were in Woodstock, but John Fogerty was the writer. Well, actually, there was a lot of writers on CCR, but John Fogerty's still going on. Really great fucking music. I mean, I'm going to go off subject here for a second. I would say 8 years ago, there was a reunion tour. The Eagles reunited. And I was at the Forum, and Sheryl Crow, John Fogerty, and I think there was another band, could have been Billy Joel and Eagles. They reunited. And Sheryl Crow goes on, and, I know the Sheryl Crow's fans, but she put us to sleep. So John Fogerty, first fucking song, we're at the Forum, and everyone's on their fucking feet, dude. I mean, they're just like, they're in. The energy just took off. John Fogerty has them on their people on the seat standing up in the front rows to see him because it was amazing. I've never seen that I seen Metallica at the Coliseum and they fucking took over. I've seen Metallica in their heyday, they fucking destroyed venues. But John Fogerty didn't destroy venues. He just fucking took it to him. He just took that fucking classic music to him. And that's the reason I guess I was into him. I just knew that day was coming somewhere, somehow. So grew up listening to those music, and then, of course, my first purchase myself was Black Sabbath, Masters of Reality. Fucking amazing music.
Masters of Reality?
Masters of Reality. That was Black Sabbath. That's Tony Iommi's. That's when they call him the godfather of metal. He created those fucking riffs for every guitarist out there. I mean, Hendrix was great. He was very bluesy. But Masters of Reality is where you fucking went like fucking from Hendrix to metal, in a sense, early metal. So then I got into Aerosmith, Led Zeppelin, Randy Rhoads, Ozzy Osbourne, and Black Sabbath with Dio. Of course, Rainbow, all those fucking classic, great bands, a lot of classic guitar. So, of course, I purchased a guitar young. I think I was, I don't know, probably just, I had to fucking cut lawns to get my first guitar. I had to save $200. It was a knockoff Gibson Les Paul, but fuck, it was beautiful. To me, it was just like a fucking holy grail. I found it on Earth.
Yeah.
And I started playing it, and, my parents made fun of me all the time because I played Smoke on the Water. I liked Blackmore at the time. So, that's where it started. It just started not knowing what the fuck. You're just learning guitar, you're learning riffs, you're learning things from friends. And the next thing you know, you're playing Leonard Skinner and shit. You're learning, that's when early John Petty and the Heartbreakers were out before he left the Heartbreakers. So, we had all that great music. So it was just a plethora of music. And that's where I started playing guitar, learning things. And I went for many years. It's what I boxed myself into the pentatonic kind of pattern. And I had to take lessons. I took some lessons. I was lucky. I've had two major teachers that helped me open up writing and understanding things. So they opened me up to writing and stuff like that, and that's where I started getting in bands, and I started doing cover bands, and then from cover bands we were out there doing gigs out there in LA when they had rock clubs. I mean, not LA, the Valley. You know, because they had rock clubs back then. They had the FM station, Country Club, Mancini's, The Rock. I mean, just we went everywhere. We did. I mean, Hollywood, Orange County, San Gabriel Valley.
So you did the Viper Room.
Didn't do the Viper. I did the Roxy, Whiskey, Troubadour.
Yeah.
So the Viper Room, I'm thinking about doing soon here in Hollywood. The Viper Room wants 50 people. And
what year was that when you did that?
Oh shit, that was like early '90s. Early '90s, we were out there everywhere. Just we were rehearsing 3 times a week and gigging on the weekends. So, and we did anything and everything we could do to play in front of people. So we had a good build up. So that was my beginnings. You know, we were just like awestruck with going out there playing live. We were young. You know, we didn't give a shit. We worked and paid our bills. You know, and just had to play music. Just had fun out there. So then it came time to where we started writing originals, and we were practicing a lot, so it helped us develop. And there was 5 members, and me. There was three writers, pretty much. The singer, his name is Frank. I'm Frank, and another guitarist named Joe. When we were developing the music for our CD, and then we, by mistake, we ran into we were looking for a different lockout, and we ran into this place called Bill's Place. It's in North Hollywood, and there's rock stars. There's legitimate fucking rock stars there.
Really?
Yeah, you just behave.
Axl Rose, anything like that?
No, I mean we didn't meet GNR at the time, but one day we walked in and there's this tall fucking guy passed out on the couch.
Passed out.
And he's a guitarist from fucking Wasp. He's just passed out. This guy's got to be like.
Wait, you said he's the guitarist of Wasp?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's passed out on the couch. And he's like 6'5", 6'6".
Really?
Tall dude. Ooh, tall dude. And so we go in and rehearse. And he walks into our studio and he starts talking to us and asking us about questions about music equipment. And I forget his name, but he's a well-known guitarist. Just any moment we met Halford when he had left Judas Priest, his band Halford. It was actually Fight at the time. And I met him and his band there. Really cool dudes. I met Prince's management and touring people because Prince had I guess he had been off a long layoff and he was going to do a West Coast tour. And one day we cruised up, there's like 3 semis outside. We're like, holy fuck, who the fuck is this? It's Prince. Well, he wasn't there, his management, because all Prince does is fly in and show up for the gig. He's so fucking rich. He's got management handling all the shit. They're doing maintenance on the touring stuff.
Yeah, he said he's so fucking rich. He just flies in when it's time.
Yeah, I mean Halford. When we met Halford, he's helping the band carry equipment from fucking studio to studio. But Prince he was so fucking rich that his management did everything for him. We met his management. They were top fucking notch. They didn't fuck around. I mean, there was they rented out almost the whole. There was like probably about 4 big rehearsal studios, and there was a recording area. And he rented them all, including ours. They, when we come in, we didn't know they had moved our equipment. And we're like, what the fuck, man? And they're like, hey, it's Prince. They're paying a lot of fucking money, so But so we had to, but we met like Mark Zonder from he owned it. Mark Zonder from Fates Warning, the drummer, very prominent, respected drummer. He owned the studio. So we just met Rockstar. We met, constantly running in and out. Just sometimes you didn't even know who they were. You're just like, wow, okay, cool. And then it got to a point where, we were hanging around rock stars and they started to influence some of our decision making, and that's what fucked us up. I remember, there was a good engineer. His name was Bill Matour, and he really respected engineer. And he was the engineer starting to work with us. So he's miking up our equipment and stuff like that. And he's going to start to record us. And he's listening to us. And when we're done, he gave us a true opinion of us. Because he hangs around rock stars and records them all the fucking time. Top notch bands. He does live recordings, home recordings, every fucking thing. They fly them all over the world. He says, you guys got the right attitude. You don't give a fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't give a fuck about what everybody's opinion is or anything. You had me convince you're rock stars. You're just normal.
It's the best way to go.
Yeah, I mean, if we can, if we can fucking put that on Bill McToyer, he says, yeah, I thought you were rock stars. You're just regular rockers. We're not a touring band. We're not this big fucking glorious thing and with egos and women hanging around us all the time. We're just guys just trying to rock the fuck out. And so we started to record the CD we have there, Deal With It.
Oh, right here, guys. Check it out.
So this CD is 20 years old. So we got influenced by rock stars. And they fucked us up because, we were going through our own internal problems like every 5, grown men in any situation are going to go through. They're just going to be all kinds of different thoughts, processes, and people go through dramas in life. You start losing parents or something. It fucks things up. So it fucked us up. But then, it came to a point where we just broke up, after, because, we started getting big for no reason at all. We started to get, our bass player went to Wacken in Europe, and he was hanging around a band, Steel Prophet. The bass player Vince was a friend of ours. He helped us a lot in our recording. He recorded us, and just so he went to Wacken with Vince, and then he took our CD with him. And the next thing you know, we're on fucking European magazines called fanzines. We're on the fucking cover.
Fanzines?
Fanzines. And that's just like a rock magazine. They call them fanzines.
Right.
So he's bringing home covers of us. So, and then on the cover, they're showing like other major bands, Judas Priest, Scorpions. We're like, what? They got us up. It's because we're American. And they listen to we have cussing in our CD. We just didn't give a fuck. I mean, Walmart banned us. Yeah.
Cussing in the CD.
Yeah, we got motherfucker. I mean, that even got played on KLOS. Kelly Cox played us on local licks. And there's cussing through the CD, not all songs, but there's a couple things that got us some problems. And they didn't really do their homework, so they played our CD, and there was cussing. And Kelly Cox comes on after about 4 songs. He says, "Push comes to shove, huh?" He says, "Yeah, no, this fucker's rock." So, and all the cussing got through. But I mean, Walmart banned us because there's a gunshot. It's called 45 and Me. It's one of our songs. There's a gunshot. So 45 and Me is, in a sense, people think it's about suicide. I'm not sure if it really is, but there's a gunshot in the beginning and at the end of it, and Walmart would not stop us because of that.
Just because of the gunshot?
Because of the gunshot. They would not stop our CD.
I mean, nowadays you hear that sound effect in all kinds of music.
Yeah, but back then,
I mean, didn't who was it? Skid Row do that for 18 in Life?
No, but I think there was a lot of. I think it was about the time where Twisted Sister singer Dee Snider, is that his name? Went up in Congress, was defending the explicit thing lyrics on the CD and shit that. So there was a lot of scrutiny, and of course America's always got its issues with guns and stuff like that. So Walmart just would not stock us. Maybe everybody interprets a song the way they interpret it.
Yeah.
No matter how we write it, they're going to interpret it how they interpret it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's been people that's emailed saying, finally someone sung about suicide. And I don't think we necessarily put the lyrics about suicide. I think what we were trying to do is talk about a relationship where a guy thought about it, but the gunshots are there. So
Right.
that interprets suicide.
Yeah,
Wasn't
yeah.
trying to do that. I think we were just trying to add special effects and dramatic effect to the song, and
Right.
so we were. We
Well,
were
that's how I feel about profanity. Like people say, "Oh, it's a bad word," but to me, when I'm cussing about something, it just gives more amplification to the feeling that whatever the fuck I'm talking about.
I mean, you know,
In some cases,
if you're a musician, you know, it's just like you know, being around military people, you cuss. You know, you go to any, you know, concert and backstage, and you know, no one's talking like, you know, I mean, some guys are very casual, or you know, but you know, in a sense, it's just hanging out, partying, drinking, and people just being their self. And if they say, you know, fuck or something like that, it's just standard language. I mean, you go hang around any military installation or base or people, it's on. You know, they don't give a shit.
they're just fucking cussing, cock, dick, balls, bitch.
Yeah,
Fuck.
I mean, well, they're just expressing
Yeah.
their themselves through just, you know, naturalism. You know, just we invented. It's been around for fucking many years. So there it is. You know, just so you know, the rock. You know, when we started to get our heads full because then Slipknot offered us a tour.
Really?
Yeah, Slipknot offered us to open up for them through the West Coast leg of their tour. And I thought about it, but you know, we were going to get 5% of the door, so maybe probably pay your, you know, your van fee and your hotel fee. They weren't offering us buses or nothing. But I said no to the simple reason is that Slipknot is extreme rock band. We're not extreme. We're classic metal, but it's good. It's good, and I'll explain what's coming out after our first CD. But Slipknot liked us a lot for whatever reason. They liked us. I don't even know how they got a hold of us. Could be like, you know, when we were hanging around Bill's place, the studio, and you know, someone knew members of Slipknot, and the next thing you know, they're listening to our CD, and they were like, "Hey, you know, fuck it, put them on our opening up first." But I know their fans would have threw bottles at us. They're fucking fanatics, and I wasn't willing to take 5% of the door to take a bottle of the head. You know, so you know, I was like, "No, we won't take this tour." You know,
Bottle to the head.
although I wanted so freaking bad to go out there, and then
Didn't Johnny Cash have to deal with that when he did the prisons?
I don't know because you know Hollywood always puts extra drama to sell certain scenes. They got to make you. They got to make you. They got to draw you into the scenery, and it's hard. So I don't know if Johnny Cash really dealt with that kind of stuff. I mean, the Blues Brothers. Remember, they were throwing bottles at them as they were playing.
No, I don't.
Yeah, the Blues
I don't know
Brothers.
that one. Yeah.
So. So I don't know, but you know,
Well, like Oasis. You know the band Oasis?
Yeah.
I have heard stories that the brothers, they would be fighting on stage. And one would even kick the other one in the nuts live on stage
fuck
in the middle
that.
of their show.
I mean, what's the matter with bands? I mean, you know, look. I look at it this way, and I always tell my
Just
band
walk up,
members.
knock them in the nuts.
I always remind my band of one major thing. You guys out there who pay to go see us sometimes have to pay for parking, especially in fucking Hollywood. You got to pay to get in the fucking door, and you're stuck with a 2-drink minimum. You're in for 50 fucking bucks even before you get your dick sucked. I mean, you know, they're fucking taking your money, whether you like it or not, just to see that band. So, you know, you got to remind people of that, whether they're on stage. You know, you got to remind your members, hey, there's time, money, effort. They're coming out. You got to give it your all. You got to take it to them. You got to give them what they came for. Even if you're not a rock star in real life, you got to make them believe by the end of your set you're a fucking rock star because that's what they paid for. They didn't pay to see Oasis kicking each other's fucking balls. They come to see push comes to shove kick their balls.
Push cut. Yeah. Because I had a friend who was like a diehard fan of Oasis, and he told me like, yeah, there's stories of that happening live on stage, right? He just walks right up to it. One time I heard, I don't know if it's true, but one of the other brothers completely stopped playing, went around and went over at the top and started throwing bottles at his brother on stage.
What the fuck's the matter with you, Oasis? I mean, come on. If you guys are watching this, grow the fuck up. Fuck. Get back together, your brothers. Forgive each other. Just get back to what people need. They need fucking some entertainment, man, especially in these days. Yeah, yeah. I can't deal with that kind of drama. That guy would not be in my band. I'd be like, hell no. I mean, bands have drama. They do.
Yeah.
They have drama. Everybody deals with drama. You got everything going.
A band is like in my opinion, a band is like a relationship with 3, 4, or 5 other people.
Yeah, well,
just like
and
a girlfriend. It's just
look, everyone, most people, that's been in rock for a while have a family at home. They either, not everyone has children. I don't, but I have a wife, and some of my members have their significant others, and they got them, and everybody's waiting for their man to come home at the end of the fucking day. Like last night, we were recording our new CD, and we were there for 7 fucking hours. I had to shut it down because we get up at 3:30 in the morning, to get my wife to work. But their significant others and or families, children, are all waiting for their the father, their dad, their husband to come home, and for that day, we're with each other more than our partners. My wife, sometimes, sometimes she raises hell and says, hey, that's 8 hours. We didn't do anything. I just sat in my room, and I'm like, I try to work through that, and everyone has to work with that. Not only have to work through your issues, but you have to work with the other band's issues because, if you care about the person you're with, you love them, you care about their feelings and how they handle things. So it's tough. Because we're not even out there gigging yet. Wait till we gig, and they, of course, sometimes fans are really cool. You gain some really cool fans, and jealousies pick up. So you got to deal with that. You got to know how to maneuver in between your wife and a fan, where you don't disrespect your fan. You appreciate them, but at the same time, you're telling your wife, hey. This person is a fan. She's going to bring in other fans. She's going to bring in her boyfriends or girlfriends. So you got to show the appreciation for who they are as a person.
right.
Not, even if she's just like sexual, you don't have to take it sexual. You can just be respectful of that girl and they're respectful of who she is and understand she's spending her time, energy, and money to come see you. So, you got to appreciate them, but also respect your wife and show her respect. And each band member has to do the same because sometimes you run into those situations out there. Not all the time, but you do run into it, even at the club level. And then, so you deal with them and you show them appreciation, and that's how you get great fans. We got some fans that we've had for over 20 years, and they're still with us. We don't have a ton of fans with us because we were stupid for 20 years, but I still went out and created with other bands and created other CDs, but I'm back with this band, Push Comes to Shove. And, the 3 original members are back together. It's me, the singer, Frank, and Gary, the drummer. Gary, we had him since he was 19 years old. I mean, some clubs, as soon as he played, he had to leave, They wouldn't, like the country club. They would, they allow him in to play the gig, but he had to leave immediately. He wasn't able to hang out or nothing. He had to go out in the parking lot. So, we've been doing this for a while and going through things.
Because he wasn't 21. So.
Exactly. And we played the country club. We played with bands we've played with. We played with System of a Down. We played with Incubus. We played with Pretty Boy Floyd. Oh, God. So many bands. I can't remember them all. It's Bang Tango. They weren't major touring bands, but they're still nationals. They still tour in the United States and, live off of it.
What were some of the 80s bands that you encountered that you thought would have made it, but they just didn't? Like bands that were definitely good enough, but for some reason and some reason why they just didn't do it.
It's
Like what?
it could be. You can't guess exactly what happened internally. Externally, I don't know. I mean, L.A. Guns was just as good as
Wait,
Guns
who?
N' Roses. L.A. Guns.
L.A. Guns.
Yeah. Tracy Guns. That's the reason it was called Guns N'
L.A.
Roses.
Guns. That
Yeah, there
sounds
was
very
Axl Rose
familiar.
and Tracy Guns.
Huh. Okay.
Can we break real quick? Or I'm not sure why the split up happened. I'm sure there's a lot of history about that. But I've always liked both bands. But I liked a lot of LA Guns. LA Guns was to me was the essential Hollywood rock band.
Was
You,
L.A. Guns actually signed,
yeah, oh
or
yeah, they're signed now. Yeah,
yeah?
they're still their new songs rock, dude.
Or I thought ever since Guns N' Roses got started, or I would have assumed when Guns N' Roses got started, then they got the deal.
Well, I guess LA Guns probably got a deal right when Appetite for Destruction happened because they had already split up and Slash was in the band. And I'm not sure what happened with Tracy's side, and but he put together eventually. There was some one hit wonders on their CD, but then he created a major album with a really good band, and it was called the album's LA Guns. And it's called Hollywood Vampires. That is some tasty fucking stuff right there. He went off and did something that was, well, I mean, it actually had MTV at the time. They were still doing videos for rock bands. The Ballad of Jane, and that was the beginning of his rise up to that level. And then they kind of went off, and I'm not sure what happened for a while. And I know that Tracy Guns was. I heard this. I'm not sure, but a part of Rock of Ages in that play over in Vegas. That's what I heard. So I'm not sure if that's true, but I've always followed Tracy Guns because of I just feel like we're two of the same kind of person. That just we're just rockers and we just do the best we can as rocking, and no matter what band, which he has a really good band right now. And his singer, I think his name's Phil Lewis. I'm not sure here, but his singer's really a great singer. He's better than Axl by far. So I'm not saying that LA Guns is better than Guns N' Roses. I'm saying that the singer's better. Who's had more hits? Yeah, that's the interpretation of the listener. To me, they're equal in who they are, and I just like the rawness of Tracy Guns. Slash is bluesier than Tracy. Tracy's just in your face rock. I mean, if you've ever been to Hollywood back in the heyday, and I know there's different heydays for different generations, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, blah, blah, blah. But the my heyday was out there in the 80s and 90s. And to me, you go see LA Guns, you walk out and you're like, hey, I fucking got my money's worth on that one. Hell yeah. Hey, LA Guns, I got your back, man. Yeah, so,
Yeah, because I remember when my dad was 80s drumming thing with his band. His band was called Guts.
With a Z or S?
I really don't know.
Mm.
It might be with an S.
Yeah, probably back in those days.
Might be with an S. But he told me his band they were doing the Hollywood scene and all that stuff, and he said Appetite for Destruction was their demo. It was their demo.
Mm-hmm.
And when they took it back and heard it, they were like, "Fuck, what the fuck?"
It's great.
They were like, "The fuck."
I mean, my favorite song off Appetite is Rocket Queen, but not the whole
me
song.
too. Actually,
I like the second half. I just learned it.
Yeah, exactly. The second half of Rocket
I just
Queen,
learned that last week.
Yeah,
I just learned that last week.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is Axl?
And just as you said, like interpreting, like how people interpret songs solely based off their own emotions. Like the second half of Rocket Queen, automatically think of her. Bam. Like,
your daughter?
Yeah. And it could be like for any.
It's so melodic,
Yeah.
and the lyrics had changed from the first half. to the second half. Because you know the story about the Rocket Queen?
No, I don't.
Okay. Nothing about your daughter. But
Yeah,
the first half is that I think it
Yeah,
Doug McKean.
let me fix that right quick.
Sure.
Just like 2 seconds.
So the bass player Doug McKean, or the bass player. God, I can't remember people's names. You know, I didn't come prepared to remember all these bands.
Well, because Rocket Queen was like what 5.5 minutes long.
Yeah, and what it was is that the bass player had a really nice, good-looking girlfriend, and he wouldn't admit it. I think a magazine asked him about it at the time, and I've seen interviews with him, and this is the reason I know this because I watched the interviews with him. And there's a really good story about the bass player on Prime, and the he explains it, and he says they were together, but he never admitted it to anybody when they were asked. You know, he was a rock star. He didn't want to admit it. So she got mad at him and went down to the recording studio, and Axel happened to be recording at that time the vocals to Rocket Queen. And he had sex with his girlfriend while recording it. That's the reason you hear that girl moan. That's actually happening.
Whoa!
Yeah,
whoa,
dude,
wait.
yeah.
So wait,
I got history to teach you.
So that moaning was actually
the bass player's
in the
girlfriend.
studio?
Yeah, they're recording it. Yeah.
So Axel was banging his.
Yeah, he was banging his girlfriend. Yeah. She was mad at him.
That's fucked up, dude.
So and
that's
hey guys, if
Kinda
GNR ever
changes-
catches this,
kind of changes
I'm only
my
going by
fucking.
what I've seen on fucking documentaries, so I'm not telling you anything from guessing.
What
I'm
the-
actually telling you what I heard from band members.
That's fucking crazy.
So the if you listen to how the lyrics are written, he's talking about sex and things like that in the first half. In the second half, for whatever reason, and it's not explained in any documentary that I know about, unless I don't watch DNR all the time, so maybe someone else knows about it. If you listen to the lyrics, he's telling her, "I will be there for you no matter what." So it's like, he knew Axel knew he was creating history, recording, having sex live for a song. But on the second half, it seems like Axel had changed his mood and his writing style and started, I'm not sure if he wrote it for her or some other girl, but he was actually writing something sweet, in the second half. And that's the reason they always said that should have been two different songs.
Yeah, because like the part that gets me, not the sexual part.
Yeah,
obviously,
the second half.
But where he's like, I hate to see you standing out there on your own in the rain or something.
Yeah.
Like, all I ever wanted was for you to know that I care.
Yeah, exactly. See what he's saying?
Like,
it's a whole different. It's a whole different song.
I'll be honest. I never the song's great, but I never liked the moaning thing. That I was just like annoyed by it.
And
like,
even the
it wasn't really. I didn't find it cool.
The famous groupies, they kind of like put her out there because she was a famous groupie at the time. I guess she had been with bands and toured with them and stuff like that, and who knows what else. But it doesn't matter. I mean, it's rock and roll, right? It's all fun. It's all game. It's all party. I mean, it's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to rock and fuck. That's what we do.
Rock and fuck. Yeah, man.
So, the other groupies had talked about her and said they wouldn't have done it. They wouldn't have done what she did, but but it happened, and it's history now. And so, she's a part of history, and I'm sure she's a good person, just like anybody else. Whatever. So,
anybody ever knew her name?
Yeah, in the documentary, there's some documentaries that they talk about her. I'm not sure. I think it's Doug McKean, the one I seen off of Prime. You need to watch that because I was really surprised how good that was. You want to watch a very good documentary about someone. And here's the thing: is he's not with Guns N' Roses. He's actually playing Guns N' Roses' "Appetite for Destruction" with another band, but it's more acoustically and more methodically written very well. Doug, I mean, wow, dude. I was like, that is an awesome presentation of your history. And so it's explained it's on Prime, Amazon Prime, and I guess it'll be in documentaries, and it's there, and hopefully it's still there. But it's very well
I got
written.
Amazon Prime.
Yeah, very well written. But anyway, bands that should have made it that didn't. I mean, well, LA Guns did make it, in my opinion, and they're still going. And I'd like to see them open up for GNR. Why not? Let's light it up. Just light it up. Let it happen. Let LA Guns open up for GNR. So other bands, I don't know. I mean, I've seen many bands out there and seen some talented guys. My guitar teacher, super talented, Chrissy Calabro, wrote, helped write with his brother the solo album from Poison Singer, and he did a solo stuff. And he toured with them, and I always thought he would make it, but he never made it. But he's super talented as a producer, a guitar teacher. I mean, not bad. I mean, just certain people, the best never make it sometimes. I mean, Jimmy Page did because time he was the best, and somehow he did it. But not everybody makes it being the best. They become the best out there after a while. Time, money, and energy, and working on. They got a whole team working on them, from photos to lessons. And sometimes bands buy songs from other bands because the other bands are not, going to make it, but they wrote a good song. Cheap Trick, for example, The Flame did not write The Flame. They bought it, but that was their biggest hit. So it happens out there. So, a lot of guys out there, I guess actually there's some other stuff because I watch documentaries all the time, musician, and I always try to learn, about things. Very intrigued about learning. And a lot of musicians in Nashville write super hits for people, but they're not known. They sell their songs. And they don't get more, if they're lucky, they'll get 20,000 for a hit that made a record company hundreds of millions. Or maybe not hundreds, but millions. So I don't know. I mean, it happens. I mean, I've seen a ton of talent out there, and always inspires me to do better every time I see a better band out there, better than I am at that night. Because my goal is to go and destroy. I want to own that night. I want to make sure that I'm imprinting my band into everybody's mind, saying, "I want to see that band again." That's how we are. Push comes to shove. And I always talk to my band about it, because I've been out there a lot. I've been out there in the clubs. I've done the wars and trench work in the clubs, and and I don't mind going out there and doing it again because it's fun. It's awesome. It's just a great night of synergy between us and the audience. And if I could, ask you guys for one thing out there is, if you could, when bands are playing, don't sit down. Get up there and push them, man. Push the envelope with the band. See what you get out of it. I'm pretty sure you're going to get way more than you put into it out of the band because we're going to respond and start rocking. We're going to gamble and take like we're going to do something that we normally don't do. So either it's going to happen or it's going to be a train wreck. But either way, take us to there because we need you. We need your energy.
Yeah, get up, we dance, can't be the only. Like that's
we're going to be burning our energy out within 3-4 songs, and if you're not up, we're like, oh God, these guys are not, they're not into us. We don't know what else to do.
Digging it, so
but if you guys could, bring it, man, bring it to us. Just cheer us on, and we promise you're going to get something. That in return they were like, it was worth it. They brung it. So any other questions?
I just have one last question.
What?
All right, just for, some entertainment, what is, out of all the shows you've done, what is the worst thing that's ever happened playing live, and what's the best thing that's ever happened playing live?
Worst thing? Okay. So this wasn't Push Comes to Shove. It was another band called Hard Eight I created. And we were booked in Santa Monica, and it was a Wednesday night. And of course, we couldn't get fans out there. It's a work night, so we were hoping the club would have. But when we went out there, it was torrential rains that fucking night. I mean, the fucking crickets went home. I mean, no one was at the club, so we show up, and there's no one in there. I mean, just the bartender was even in the back. I don't know.
The bartender wasn't even there.
Yeah,
he was like,
it was pretty bad night, and it wasn't horrible because what happened was we started setting up, and my singer, she started getting a little nervous. She wasn't, strong. I was always the band leader, so she's like, "Why don't we just leave here? No one will ever know." I'm like, "No, we're not going to leave. We're going to perform here. We already spent the time, energy, gas money. We're here. So if anything, let's take this as a rehearsal." So one guy walks in, and stands in front of the band. And I said, "That's the guy we're playing for." That was our worst night, but it wasn't bad. It just we just didn't have the crowd. There was a bad night, raining Wednesday night, Santa Monica. It happens. So we rocked for an hour for that one guy. He loved it. He was in. We took it to him. It was like, that's our audience. And the best night, I think the best night still to come. I think when I can fill a club with people, I think that would be my best night, because then I know that all my 20, 30 years of hard work, practicing, learning, taking lessons, working with different musicians, being good, being idiotic, for sometimes you're not the best musician in the house, and you got to rise to the occasion. So all that, put that all together, and I'm still waiting for that best night to come. So my best night is still to come, and I'm working on it right now. I'm recording right now. By the way, so before we end this, our website is Push Comes to Shove. Just type it in. Push comes with a capital I shove.
Push come to shove.
Push comes to shove.
Just like this, guys.
Yeah.
Push comes to shove.
And just put band behind it, so it goes directly to the website.
And I'll also take a picture of this and put it on the
I appreciate it.
video.
And we're also on all streaming devices. I mean, Spotify, iTunes. We're everywhere. You could just type us into your favorite streaming app, and we're there. So, support us. We're out here in Antelope Valley. My phone. Can I give my phone number in case people want information on us?
That's 100% you.
661-803-4120. And my email is melodymakerfm@outlook.com. So I'll spell it out. It's MELODYMAKERFM @outlook.com. And I will forward all information about the band. If you have questions, ask me questions, because I could probably go on for another 2 hours. And, because I'm like the professional never became professional, but I have all the history.
Yeah, so we definitely got to have an episode too.
We haven't even talked about the craziest shit that happens backstage.
Well, we definitely got to have an episode too.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're down.
Yeah. I told you anytime. Anything I could do to promote the band. I mean, I'm 100%.
And all of everything that he just said with the emails and all that stuff, I will have that in the description below. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment, share with your brothers, aunties, nieces, nephews, dogs, parrots. Share it with everybody. Everybody needs to see it.
And I'm also helping. We're out here in Antelope Valley, in the Palmdale area, and so I'm trying to help build up some kind of form out here. There's already a girl named Leah Lopez. You can find her on Facebook, and she's doing her best to get us rock bands going here in Antelope Valley. Again, Leah Lopez. She's crazy, guys. She's awesome. Love her. And I'm sure you guys are going to love her too. So Facebook her. And also we have Facebook too. So there's Push Comes to Shove on Facebook. But there's also PCTS Yes'em. It's pussy spelled backwards. Van Halen did it, so we did it too.
Oh my goodness. I love that one.
Yeah, it's even on our CD. It's our production company, Yes'em. So Van Halen started that, so sense of humor, guys.
Yes. Hey, that's cool.
So if you have any questions, just go ahead and email or call, and very appreciative of anybody taking their time.
And where can they buy this?
Well, you can buy that off of CD Baby, but everything off our website, CD Baby, iTunes. So it's all there, guys. It's 99 cents per download. We're also on YouTube. We have a video on YouTube, and it's called Reckless Temptation. It's on our CD. We have a video there, and it's a crazy video because we gotta do it for free. So we didn't really get. We're gonna redo it, guys. We're gonna redo Reckless Temptation, but it's there. There's a history of me on YouTube under Frank Marrero. Push comes to shove. So you'll see the beginnings of music is like cringing, and then you hear some music that absolutely rocks you because that's where I've come to. I'm now full circle, and I'm at that level where I'm comfortable. Not trying to be Randy Rhoads or Van Halen. I'm comfortable being Frank, and that's how I play now.
Right on. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to What I Need podcast/vlog episode. We lost count. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will leave the links to the description in the description below. Make sure you guys go and check it out, and I hope you guys all have a fantastic day. There we go.
Later.